Hello and welcome back to another GT scale modelling video. So this is going to be update number one, I guess, of one of the kits I'm currently building. Apologies for the noisy motorbike in the background if you can hear that. So yeah, one of the current kits I'm building is the A-10C from Italeri, 48 scale, as you can see there. I like A-10s, they're cool, they're big and ugly, and but they're incredibly fit for purpose, and they're something I've always wanted to model. I did have the Revell kit a while back. I did built most of it, but it's a fairly poor kit now, and it was beyond my knowledge or ability at the time to overcome filling big seams and replacing lost detail as a result of that when the detail that was there is raised. If it had been recessed, it wouldn't have been so bad. Not great at rescribing, but it's something I'm willing to give a go. However, I was completely stumped at replacing raised detail, and I know that a lot of people would just rescribe it instead, and then I didn't really fancy having a kit that had mostly raised detail and then some recess that just didn't really sit well with me. So it sat on the shelf for a long time. It went through a house move and things, and I never got the urge to finish it. So I hunted around for a replacement. The options were the kit in front of you there, or the Hobby Boss kit, which I believe is arguably slightly better. However, I couldn't find it for love nor money in the UK, and I wasn't willing to pay silly postage to get one. So I bumped for this instead, and then plumbed for some resin upgrades to replace some of the kind of bigger downfalls of this particular kit. So what we'll do is what I'll do first is I'll show you the resin set that I got, so bear with me. I'll tilt you down here. So if I bump the camera, I apologise. I'm currently sitting behind it on a tripod. So this is the upgrade set I bought, Aries 4655. Now it's actually for an A10A apparently, however I'm not overly fussed about the differences. So the kit includes front wheel bay, landing gear door, the two main wheel bay nacelles and their landing gear doors, complete with a optional openable, is that the right word? Positionable nose fairing on one. I believe that's the refueling point, I think, is in there, and I guess possibly the ground crew intercom connection might be in there. I don't know for sure. However, it's posable. Replacement engine fans, avionics bay for the right hand side of the main fuselage, and then its door. Some photo etch for the head-up display, the instrument panel, and some other small bits and pieces, and then an ejection seat. The seat belts on there as well. So for the ejection seat, the instrument panel fairing, and then the actual tub itself as well. So that's all that is. So quite a comprehensive little set. It was good. This needed a bit of thinning in places to get it to fit, so that the sort of chin fuselage piece would fit in place, and it was not perfect, but I think I was able to kind of salvage it through a bit of filling and things afterwards, without ruining this too much. And they're very nicely detailed. These dropped in okay. Again, kind of a bit of, like a lot of these things, a bit of blending with filler and whatnot to blend them in nicely, but I think I've managed to do an okay job of that. Cockpit tub was really nice. Certainly around the back where it fits in the fuselage fits really well. The nose, the fairing here fitted quite well. So yeah, quite pleased with that. And these are pretty much just drop-in replacements for what was arguably the weakest part of the Italeri kit, which is the fan blade detail. I'm not a rivet counter or striving for 100% accuracy or whatever. However, even I can sort of see the difference between. About 2 seconds. Wow. So you can see here the level of detail in those multiple fan blades, gaps between them and such, and then compared to the kit part on the right here, which has less fan blades and they're not open between them and they're just pretty basic really. So that was the replacement for that. So what we'll do is we'll get the kit down and we'll have a look at where it is at the moment. So this is where the kit is at the moment. I'm not entirely sure I'll be able to fit all of it in the camera here, but the camera being 6 miles from the desk. So primarily finished build wise. I just got to run through the instructions and sort of double check I haven't missed anything, and then we're pretty much ready for paint, I think. So all I've done so far is a bit of primer around here. This is where I was just checking the fit of the parts there, and then I put some black here because I'll put the front windshield, front part of the canopy on here, and obviously I wanted to make sure there wasn't going to be grey plastic underneath where it attaches, so I just quickly hand painted some black around there. The seat's not finally attached yet. Cockpit's painted, of course, like a lot of things like that I'll get. What I'll probably do is use the actual canopy as a mask. Means I can paint the canopy at the same time. So you can see here the resin intakes. So what we'll do is we'll see if we can get a bit closer in. So the surface detail on this kit is maybe a little exaggerated in place. The rivets may be a little bit big. However, they're okay, and it's all recessed and it's quite nice and things. So this is the Resin Avionics Bay here. You can see here where I had some filling to do to fit this part on after installing the nose gear bay, just here, and mostly painted up. I may go back and touch up some details. I mean, I'll have to double check whether these little bottles are a different colour or maybe do some of the wiring, but generally it's finished. The cannon's not in yet. I was drilling the barrels out and things, and then there was some more filling needed all around here, just because putting the resin cockpit and the resin nose bay in kind of caused some fit issues around there, but I'm hoping under a coat of paint that'll all look okay. I've got the resin cockpit, all the details picked out. The instrument panel in there, that's actually from an Edward set for the C version, because I think some of the screens were different, so yeah, quite pleased with that so far. I think I didn't manage to do not too bad a job of getting all this neatened up. And there's the intakes, which are quite nice. So as you can see, generally down the spine of the kit, not much filler needed really, so the general fit of the kit itself is pretty good. Just where I've had to, do some, I've done some surgery. I tried to thin the sides out of this little vent here because it sits recessed, but it was a bit of plastic, but I found some spare photo etch mesh and put it in there instead, and had to put a little fillet of plastic card in there because I took a chunk out of it. So again, under paint that should all look okay. Main gear bays are not painted yet actually, so maybe do those first and then I can mask them, or I'll paint the rest out and mask up and do them after. I'm not entirely sure. They're a bit deep, so they're hard to see in there. All the pylons are on with all the sway braces. So yeah, we're pretty much ready for some primer, I think. I'll have to paint up the exhausts. Have to mask those up. They were painted in some AK Extreme metal colours. So yeah, that's where, apologies, maybe what we'll do is have a quick look at this. So this is just the ejection seat. Apologies for the shoddy camera work, but I think it turned out quite well with the photo etch seat belts from the Edward set, the pre-coloured ones. Yeah, I think you hopefully get the idea. So, come on, focus. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment. A lot of the ordnance is all made up, and you know, along with the gear bay, landing gear and stuff. I used some bombs from some other kits and things, so that's all there. So yep, that's where we are. I'll try to get some paint on it. Next update I'll show you it, you know, primed and painted. I'm probably going to go with something similar to this, a modern grey scheme rather than a camo one. I believe most of the A-10s are all in, you know, a grey camo now rather than the kind of Vietnam era, or are they used in Vietnam? No, not the Vietnam. Anyway, their early Cold War camouflage era. Cold War era camouflage, sorry. So yeah. Anyway, enough from me. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button. Drop a comment below. It's nice to hear from people. Nice to interact. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm going to try and get some more content out. I'd love to be able to do kind of a proper build video where, you know, one video sort of documents the whole of a build kind of from start to finish. I think they're a bit more interesting to watch, certainly. I know that I prefer watching those kind of videos. Where you're just seeing sort of small snippets of the build process, and you know, some sped up sections or time-lapsey sort of sections, and you know, from the start right through to having the completed model. I know that, you know, in order to produce those videos takes the length of time it takes to build a model, which in my case at the moment is not very quick. But it's something I'd like to try, but you know, I'm no kind of filmographer or videographer, so I struggle to plan ahead enough to know when I need to film, what I need to film, what bits I would film to then speed up as the interlude bits and such like. So yeah, I'll give it a go one day and hopefully it'll be appreciated. So anyway, enough for me. Thanks for watching. I know it's not really an interesting thing, just looking at a grey model, but it's some progress. It's what I'm working on. That's what the channel's for, is just documenting my progress and sharing it with people. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye for now.